The weather was wonderful. Spring had finally arrived in the city, with lilacs in bloom and pansies peeping out here and there. Staying at home was not desirable, and Douglas took his older son to the park. When they arrived, he took out $20 from his pocket and placed it on the bench. He carefully covered it with a stick so that it wouldn't fly away. The son silently watched the unusual actions of his father and then asked, "Dad, what are you doing?" Douglas looked at little Alfred and said, "I'm sharing what I have. Maybe someone really needs money today." "Daddy, why just not give it to someone who needs it? What if someone who already has everything takes it?" Douglas answered, "Son, it's not up to us to decide who needs what. Someone is satisfied with just $1, while someone lacks $1 million. I just give, and who will take it, I do not decide." The son would have asked many more questions, so Douglas promised to tell him the story in the evening. In the evening, while Alfred was getting ready for bed, Douglas came to his room and began to tell him a story he had promised. Once upon a time, Douglas lived alone in an unfamiliar city. He had no friends or acquaintances there. One day, he lost his wallet. Whether someone took it accidentally or he was just unlucky, he didn't know. He had no more money, and the next payment was expected only in a week. Douglas didn't know what to do. He couldn't find the money for transportation or food. He solved the transportation problem easily by walking. He just had to wake up a couple of hours earlier, but it wasn't a big deal. Food was a more difficult problem. He really wanted to eat. He had some reserves left, so he stretched them out as much as he could. One evening, while he was returning home, he saw a $20 bill on the road. The young man picked it up without thinking. But then he felt very ashamed. He wasn't used to taking what wasn't his. He thought that someone had lost it, and he had to give it back, but how? He stood there with the bill a little sighed and put it in his pocket. Then he went into the store, bought some food, and ate it, drinking water for the health of the person who had just lost $20. And then he promised himself to constantly lose money, because someday someone might need them very much, just like he once needed them. So he started leaving money, first coins, then larger bills. It all depended on his current financial situation. Sometimes, if he received a bonus, he could leave even $50. When he met his future wife, she didn't understand the plan at first, but then she heard his story and was happy to have met such a remarkable person. Who these days is willing to just part with money like that? She understood that she would be happy with this person, so she didn't hesitate when he proposed to her. Sometimes they searched together for a place to leave the money, where it wouldn't get lost in the mud and rain, and where it would be easily found. Now Alfred was involved in the family tradition. He really liked his dad's story. He loved all kinds of adventures and unusual deeds. He admired generous and noble heroes who did extraordinary things. Inspired by them, he decided to do the same. The following day, after having lunch in the cafeteria, he left $1 on a chair. His friend noticed and said, "Hey, you left your money there." Alfred winked and replied, "Someone else needs it more. Let's go, or we'll be late for class." Then they went to their lessons. Later that day, while wiping the tables, April found the money and exclaimed to herself, "Oh, I forgot my purse at home today, but now I have money for the bus, so I won't have to walk home and can pick up my daughter from kindergarten on time." This made her so glad that she couldn't stop smiling all day. In the evening, she told her mother about the incident, and the elderly woman smiled. "Well, that's great. I remember losing $100 many years ago, and I was upset. But then I realized that's just how it should be. Someone else needed it more. I hope that's what happened then." "I'm sure of it," April replied. wishing her mother a good night.